Buy now, pay later. It is the latest trend in consumer finance that has taken the US by storm over the past few years. These services like Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay typically allow you to split a purchase from a partner merchant into 4 equal payments over a period of 6 weeks with no interest. And they do also have some longer period loans that do charge an interest rate. Between the year 2019 and 2021, use of buy now, pay later increased tenfold, according to the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. And over the recent Black Friday sales period, use of buy now, pay later services accounted for 7.2% of all sales. That was a 25% increase from the year before. You can even use buy now, pay later to pick up cheap items like this $35 t-shirt. When you need a loan for a $35 t-shirt, it's time to stop and take a deep breath and make an assessment of your finances and realize that there are more important things in life than Catzilla. Anyway, in this video, I want to give you a rundown of who is using buy now, pay later and why I believe using a service like this shows that you are already in financial trouble. So, buy now, pay later services have a few characteristics. Like we said, they are interest-free in their 4-payment model. We'll get onto the longer payment plans in a minute. They only perform a soft credit check when you apply, so there is no damage to your credit score, and they typically don't show up as a loan on your credit report unless you miss a payment. Afterpay is the biggest of these companies in the US, but there's also Affirm, Klarna, and now even Apple has come out with its own buy now, pay later product. But is putting off paying actually helpful to people? Well, in a recent article from the Wall Street Journal, they gave some reasons why people might use buy now, pay later versus simply putting the charge on a credit card and paying it all off at the end of the month. One is that the person wants to hide a debt from their credit report. Afterpay doesn't report to Equifax, Rodriguez, 31, said. That is very appealing to me. This was a person who was applying for a mortgage and didn't want to increase their credit utilization for fear of getting rejected. Then there are other people using these services to simply cover basic necessities like grocery shopping. In fact, shoppers' use of these payment plans for necessary and everyday purchases expanded 434% from 2020 to 2021. And why might they be doing this? Well, we'll get into all the reasons in just a moment, but first, if you want to stay on top of your credit card balances, the sponsor of today's video, Max Rewards, is a great choice. They've just come out with version 3, and it is a great update. The smartphone app gives you info on all your credit cards from different banks in one place. You'll be able to see your balances, your credit utilization, and your utilization over all your accounts, and also your points and rewards balances all inside one app. The app will recommend which card to use where for the maximum rate of rewards, and you can set the value of the points yourself for maximum accuracy. A new feature in version 3.0 is having trackers for all of your coupon book style Amex cards with credits so that you can see how much you have used before the end of the year or the end of the quarter. It'll let you know how many days left you have to use them. Also, if you have the gold version of Max Rewards, it'll activate all of your Amex offers for you so you never miss a deal. And when you activate all your offers, new offers appear in your account that you never knew existed and might even save you even more money. If you want a free month of Max Rewards Gold, you can get that by clicking my link below, or just download the app through my link and check out the free features. So why are people using buy now, pay later to cover essentials like groceries? Well, according to a survey by the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, buy now, pay later borrowers exhibit measures of financial distress that are statistically significantly higher than non-users. Some examples include higher credit card debt and utilization rates. So you can see here that the buy now, pay later users have utilization rates on their credit cards of 40 to 50% versus around 30% for non-users. So if you are already in trouble on your credit card and don't want to raise your utilization even more, why not take out a 0% APR loan that is hidden from your credit report? They also found that users of buy now, pay later were much more likely to revolve their credit card balances. Now, this is really really the kicker for me, because if you are revolving a balance on a credit card, i.e. just paying the minimum payment or a little bit more than that but not the full balance and carrying the rest of that balance over to the next month, you lose your grace period. So any charge that you put on that credit card starts accruing interest immediately. You may not have known this, it isn't obvious, but if you read the terms and conditions, you will find it in there. I did a video on this once. It looks like this. It's called something like Credit Card Company's Dirty Secret or something. You can check it out on the channel. I'll put it on the end card of this video so you can click through and see it. So if this wasn't the case and you were just paying your balance in full every month, and let's say you made your purchase right at the beginning of your billing cycle, you'd have about 30 days until you got the bill with no interest, and then you'd have a grace period of typically at least 21 days to pay. That is a potential 51 days of 0% interest. That is more than the 6 weeks you'd get with buy now, pay later. It's actually 7 weeks. So for someone with good financial habits, such as paying credit cards in full every month, there's actually no need for buy now, pay later. Your credit card does the exact same thing, as long as you make the purchase at the right stage within the billing cycle. And even if you purchase later in the billing cycle, you can still get several weeks of 0% interest. So these people are in debt, they're revolving balances on their credit card and paying interest, and they're using buy now, pay later to avoid interest and the appearance of more debt in the eyes of the banks because it doesn't show up in your credit report. The Consumer Finance Protection Bureau found that the average credit card debt across multiple cards for the people using buy now, pay later in their survey was $24,679. Their credit scores were also lower, in the mid-600s on average, versus the people who didn't use buy now, pay later. And they had on average more delinquent accounts than the average non-buy now, pay later user. So the average user of buy now, pay later is someone who is in a poor financial state, according to this report. The Wall Street Journal also interviewed one guy who was using Affirm to cover basic essentials, and he was very wary of credit cards, so he was actually using a 6-month installment loan program on Affirm, which is the worst possible thing. Here's the example. A recent bill at Walmart was roughly $465, and Affirm offered him a choice of 3 payment plans. He chose a 6-month loan with a 36% interest rate that didn't require a down payment. A 36% interest rate! That is higher than any credit card I can think of, except for maybe First Premier Bank, which is known as a bank that targets people with terrible credit scores and rips them off. So could it be that the whole 0% 4-installment loan program and the fuzzy, warm, friendly branding is kind of like a gateway drug, and once someone is juggling debt and using these buy now, pay later services because they're already in a hole and buy now, pay later is the easiest option for them, they get taken advantage of. Many of these companies, like Affirm, even now have a card that you can use in stores, so you can take your buy now, pay later facility with you everywhere. So that's why I see these services as a little dangerous. The pay in 4 thing is only needed if you're already revolving balances on a credit card, or if you couldn't open a credit card with, say, a 0% APR promotional period because your credit score wasn't good enough. It's proven in the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's report that these people using these services are in significantly worse financial shape than people who don't use them. And if you go beyond the whole pay in 4 plan with them and take out longer loans, they charge higher interest rates than even payday loan lenders, who here in New York State are only allowed to charge up to 25%. You have Affirm charging 36%, and Klarna charges up to 33.99% for those longer term loans, depending on your credit score. So behind that clean exterior, there are some predatory traits to these companies. In the future, we are probably going to see more regulation coming down the line from the states and even the federal government. But the best thing to do, in my opinion, is only use buy now, pay later if you are in good financial standing and there's no risk you could miss a payment or have to string out your loan into a longer term with interest. It's the old catch-22 situation. The people who have healthy finances and could probably afford the item, either paying with cash or paying with a credit card, then paying the bill 1 month later, they don't really need the service. Whereas the people who might get into financial trouble by using buy now, pay later are the ones who keep on using it. So stay out of trouble, guys, and if you can't afford something unless you use buy now, pay later, maybe just don't buy it. All right, that is the video for today. Please don't forget to get a free month of Max Rewards Gold with my link below. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I put that link to the video I talked about how credit card companies charge interest immediately on every purchase if you carry a balance. It's on screen now, and that's something a lot of people probably didn't know about, so you may want to check it out. All right, guys, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.